I have no idea where that came from. So the first item of my Weight Watchers and Healthy Eating tools that I want to talk about in my third video is a grill pan. This little baby is awesome. This particular one is from Calphalon. I'm certain my husband bought it for me. He buys most of my cooking utensils because he loves to eat my food. And this one has been through the ringer. But anytime you are watching calories and you want to eat lean protein, the two best ways to cook lean protein is on the grill or roasted in the oven. And failing either firing up the grill because it's freaking cold and winter outside, or you just don't feel like firing up the grill. We have a charcoal versus gas, so it takes a little bit of a process to get going. This baby will save your life. Burgers, shrimp, grilled vegetables, whatever it is that you normally grill on a grill, you can do in a grill pan. A little bit of oil brushed on here, season your meat or your veggies however you want, and you are good to go. And a tip that I want to give you is about seasoning, because a lot of what people like about grilling is the flavor that it imparts. Particularly like us, we like charcoal flavor. Not charcoal flavor, but you know, that sort of smoky flavor that comes from charcoal. You can achieve it with a gas grill as well if you use wood chips, for example. So seasoning can be really important. The first couple of seasonings or a few seasonings that I have here that I want to talk about are kind of the ones that just impart a basic grill smoky flavor. I'm going to start with the Adams. I love these. I get them at H-E-B. I don't know if they have them at other places. For the most part, I find them in the grocery store around where they have the little cooking demonstrations. These two are my favorite. This house one, I put it on basically everything, and I'm sure it has things in it that I could pull together myself, you know, salt, pepper, you know, garlic type thing. But this one is just so easy to sprinkle on. Like I said, pretty much anything, vegetables, chicken, whatever I'm grilling up, especially if I'm doing something really quick and fast and easy. This one, their Just Right burger spice, is perfect for adding to burgers. Again, I'm sure it has things I could throw together, but strangely enough, is mushroom powder. But something like this, as well as like this Weber Steak and Chop seasoning, will impart a lot of flavor super quickly into a dish that you're doing on your grill pan. I also want to talk about liquid smoke. This is the best. Outside of steaks, the inside of burgers, I kind of sprinkle it on pretty much anything meaty that I'm going to grill. To that end, if you're doing some kind of Asian-esque, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, type deal, you can make a sriracha kind of sauce, or something with just a dab of sesame oil, or even like make your own teriyaki or buy a little bit of teriyaki sauce. Now, obviously you have to be careful because certain things have some sugary content. It's part of the reason I tend to make my own teriyaki type sauce, and I don't have a bottle to show you, but just, you know, anything that you add to veggies or meat before you throw it in your grill pan is going to add flavor, but this is going to kind of give you a little bit of that grill-like flavor. I also want to throw out there that if you're doing something a little bit different and you want that smoky kind of flavor, but not so much grill flavor, the two that I use a lot are smoked paprika, fantastic, and cumin. And a lot of people associate cumin with Mexican food, but just a hint of cumin along with some of the other spices is just going to give it that little bit of that people don't quite know what it is, that will impart a lot of flavor. So the first tip and tool for healthy living in this particular video series, number 3, is the grill pan and the associated seasonings with it. On to number 2. The next tool I want to talk about in this third video, it's the second tool in this video for healthy living and Weight Watchers success tools, has to do with serving dishes. Most of us grew up with and I am no exception, clean your plate. The mother who said you have to eat everything regardless of whether or not you liked it. And to this day, I'm a visual eater. If you put it in front of me on a plate, I will eat it, every single bite of it. And it doesn't matter how big the plate is. That is part of the reason why buffets and appetizer tables tend to be my downfall. So what I do is I combat that visual eating by creating visual satisfaction with a smaller plate or bowl. So for example, this is my typical serving plate for a dinner or a lunch. And it's the salad plate. As you can see, this is my dinner plate here. This is a salad plate. This is perfect for me. And every single time I serve myself something on a small plate, most of the time what I do is I make the conscious decision to eat a half serving of everything. Fits neatly on the plate, and I tell myself, you can always go back for more. But once I've eaten it, it ain't coming back out, that's for sure. So I say to myself, small plate, small portion, wait 10 minutes after you've finished everything on the plate, and then go back. Now, connected to this is the fact that I am an extremely fast eater. I will inhale. I have no idea where that came from. And my husband is still trying to find a channel to watch before he even starts on his dinner, and I've finished my plate. So the two strategies together, which is smaller serving plate with smaller serving size, along with waiting after I finish my portion to decide if I'm going to eat something else, helps keep my consumption under control. So another thing is I use these little, sort of baby bowls. I use these, I know this is sad. I use these little baby spoons a lot too for things like soup. It just slows me down, and that's all I need. I know there's all of that research out there that says it's a full 20 minutes after you begin eating before you start to feel sated or not hungry anymore. And for me, that is very true. And I have learned that that is just something I have to cope with. So I choose smaller serving plates. The couple of other strategies that I want to talk about, I mentioned buffets and sort of that all-you-can-eat appetizer kind of thing that happens at like Super Bowl parties that are coming up. I will choose a small plate at a buffet or a party, and I will go one of two ways. At a Super Bowl party, for example, I will choose a small plate. They're usually disposable at parties like that. And I will fill it with only the things that I truly love. It's very easy at a party, for example, to say, oh, I want one of everything, right? Because it's all very tasty. It is all usually very tasty, but a lot of times I just stuff my face because it's stuff I don't see very often. It's kind of like the holidays. So I go down the line all the way, then go back and figure out, these are the things I really want. I make one plate, and I'll pile it up and make it fairly large of the things I truly love. I will eat that plate. I will throw the plate away, not eat the plate, eat the contents of the plate, throw the plate away and not go back anymore. The exception, of course, is that if there's something else being served besides appetizers, like a main course, like brisket or something, I will, again, choose only the foods I truly love from that appetizer. I will get smaller portions, eat them, throw the plate away, and wait for the main course, and then make my decisions based on main course again. Buffet's kind of the same thing. I will get one plate. I will make a full pass through the buffet. I will go back and say, these are the things I truly love that I know taste good, and I'm going to get those, and I'm going to eat them, and I'm going to be done. The hard part about a buffet is that we all think, I paid $10 and it's all I can eat. So we think that gives us license or permission in our brains to eat all that we can eat. And the thing is that if I go out to eat that's not a buffet, I'm going to pay $10 for a plate full of food. So what's the difference? Just because I can eat everything doesn't mean I should. So that's tool number 2 in this third video. The third tool I want to talk about in this video is, again, like last time, on the computer. So I'm going to do a demo of that and show you how that particular tool keeps me in line. Third tool in this particular video series that I'm going to talk about for Weight Watchers and healthy living and staying on track, I am going to talk about Evernote, which you can see here on my screen. Now, I'm going to caution or give a word of, note, and that is that I am an Evernote premium subscriber. I pay the additional fees in order to become a premium subscriber and get certain features that are not available in the free version. That being said, there may be some things that you see here that are not available in the free version. I highly encourage you to, if you are interested in Evernote, to look at it and determine if it looks like something you want to try out, to go ahead and download it since it's free and use it. And if you're finding that you're using it more and more and some of the features that you like are premium only, then go ahead and upgrade to premium. It really is very affordable and very useful once you've determined if you like it. So Evernote is essentially a repository for anything and everything that you can possibly think of. I do use it for a lot of different things, but the primary reason I bring it up as a tool is because I use it for recipes and information about Weight Watchers and healthy living and dieting and whatever else you can think of. So essentially, every note that you make, and you can see here that I have 819 notes, you can then sort them in multiple ways. So one of the primary ways is to simply create different notebooks. I have 4, not, trash, but 3 that I use quite a bit. The primary one I use is obviously food. There are 684 notes here. I have 118 regular notes and 17 travel notes. Now, part of the reason you would want to place them into different notebooks is because when you click on a notebook, you then get everything that is in that notebook and nothing else. The other thing that you can do once you have created a note is to tag it. And I have created quite a few tags here, as you can see. And part of that is the reason that I like this so incredibly much. So all of my notes have at least one tag. Most of them have multiple tags. And I'm going to take this very first note here that I have. This note is for whole wheat pancakes, and this is from the Skinny Taste website. Once I import or bring in a note and all of the information, and I like the way it looks, I then add it to a notebook and then I tag it. This one in particular is tagged as breakfast. It's also tagged as low calorie, and these are all tags I have created. One of the reasons I like the tag so much is because when I am sorting through recipes and looking for something very specific, I can then click on a tag and pull up low calorie. I can look for breakfast. I can also look for, I think I have appetizers here. So this helps me to determine or to find the kinds of things I'm looking for. I can search my notes here. So if I'm looking for something extremely specific, like anything that has Skinny Taste involved in it, I can do this search and we are going to get Skinny Taste. So I have, I guess, 5 here. Maybe I'm looking for pork tenderloin. The nice thing about the search feature is that it uses Boolean search type tags, and if you're not familiar with that, then I encourage you to go and do a little bit of research. So if I simply search for pork tenderloin, for example, without the quotes, I will get all of the notes that contain both pork and tenderloin, and that's not necessarily what I want. What I want are notes that contain only pork tenderloin as a whole. The other thing I like so much about Evernote is that there is a plugin available for Chrome, which is the browser I choose to use, that allows you to clip directly from the web. And so what you can see here is, let me find one. I found this recipe for brown sugar Dijon pork tenderloin on the 77 Weight Watchers recipe blogspot.com. I clipped it using the Evernote web clipper available in Chrome, and then it carried over here into Evernote. I tagged it, I sorted it. What I always have, though, is the URL associated with it. So if for whatever reason I'm looking at this and maybe the way I clipped it, and the clipper allows you to do full pages, scrolling pages, partials, things you've highlighted, and a lot of the times I tend to cut out just what I want. But maybe I was thinking she perhaps had, he or she, whoever runs the site, perhaps had a site associated with this. I could then go to the URL and look at the recipe directly and decide if there was something else I wanted to add. The other thing I can do with Evernote, I can add PDFs. When I'm viewing a PDF, and you saw this in another video when I was talking about emails in particular, there is a pop-up that comes up that says save to Evernote. So all of my email items that come to me that I view in PDF, I then save to Evernote. And when I do save PDFs, I get things here like I can see the multiple pages that are a part of it. I can go to the last page. There's a down spot here for annotations, and then I can also view the PDF in the PDF reader if I wish. The thing is that once I import a PDF, the items become searchable. So this PDF, for example, from the low-calorie family plan from January 27th, popped up in my search for pork tenderloin. And when it pops up, then I should be able to see what exactly it is highlighting. And I may have screwed it up because I clicked on something quite odd. So I'm going to redo my search here. And then come back to it. There it is. So pork medallions braised in rustic tomato sauce. Right here, if you can see it, is highlighted pork tenderloin. So I use Evernote to store pretty much anything and everything, particularly food related, so that I'm easily able to keep track of it. Here I have Hungry Girls 2016 supermarket list. Same thing, it's stored as a URL. I can view it as a PDF. I can find it easily. Anything that's in here will pop up from a search. So Sargento, for example, there it is. And it highlights the various references to Sargento in this particular list. I cannot stress enough how valuable of a tool it is to be organized in keeping recipes, particularly if you are aiming for a specific goal. So for me, I like having low-calorie recipes at my fingertips. And I like being able to find things when I'm meal planning. And so Evernote really does come in handy. I encourage you to look at it, download the free version. Evernote comes as both an application for your computer and as a web-based portal. I can see them both ways. So even if I'm not at my own computer, let's say I'm at a work location or a friend's house, I can log into my Evernote account on the web and see it. They also have I know for certain they have an Android app. They may also have an iPhone app. I don't use iPhone, so I can't tell you that. So I'm able to see things on the go. Maybe I've forgotten something when I'm grocery shopping and I want to look. I can see things in Evernote as well. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you have any questions about Evernote, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'm happy to answer anything that you may want to know about Evernote. This wraps up the third tool in this third video of my tools for healthy living and Weight Watchers and staying on track. I thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. And again, I'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment or let me know if you have any questions.